Hi, welcome to another episode of Cinema Red Pill, where we talk all things movies. And today's episodes, I have two whole new guests, Charlie and Joel, who are comic book nerds. Let them introduce themselves. Start with Joel.
Hi, my name is Joel Tugaineyo. I'm a screenwriter, stroke director. I've done 3 short films and 2 pilots. I'm a big comic book nerd and I'm super into ranting and raving about movies. Looking forward to having a good time today.
Hi there, I'm Charlie. Yeah.
No, that's cheating.
Okay. I'm an aspiring director, super into comics. That's it.
Okay, so yeah, I got the 2 biggest comic book nerds anyone knows, most people know, to talk about the comic book releases from this year. All of them, all 6 of them, and another information which I'll tell you about later. I'm sure both of you have watched. I want to just pour it on you, but we're going to talk about the 6 movies that have been released in the order they've been released, and then rank them according to our favorites. Yeah, so we're going to talk about Deadpool, Batman v Superman, Captain America, X-Men Apocalypse, Suicide Squad, and Doctor Strange. Just our general feelings towards the films. Yeah, just going to have a discussion. Yeah. Now, should we get right off the bat to it? Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Fine. Going in order of release, we're going to start by talking about Deadpool.
Hey, yeah, I wanna shoot, baby.
Kind of lonesome back here.
Little help here.
Excuse me.
Woo! Dopinder.
Pool. Dead.
Why the fancy red suit, Mr. Poole?
Oh, that's because it's Christmas Day, Dopinder. And I'm after someone on my naughty list. You're probably thinking this was a superhero movie, but that guy in the suit just turned that other guy into a fucking kebab. Surprise. This is a different kind of superhero story. To tell it right, we gotta take you back before I squeeze this ass into spandex.
Mr. Wilson, you've recently been diagnosed with terminal cancer.
We can fight this.
What if I told you we can cure you and give you abilities most men only dream of?
I'd say that you sound like an infomercial, but not a good one, like Slap Chop, more shake weighty. If I never see you again, know that I love you.
When I'm finished, your mutated cells will heal anything.
But you still think we're making you a superhero? We're making you a super slave.
Oh, come on.
You gonna leave me all alone here with Jose Canseco? Whatever they did to me made me totally indestructible and completely
No.
unfuckable.
You look like the inside of other people's assholes.
I didn't ask to be super, and I'm no hero. But when you find out your worst enemy is after your best girl, the time has come to be a fucking superhero.
Right up Main Street.
Hear the music.
X gon' give it to you. Fuck, wait for you to get it on your own. X gon' deliver to you.
I'm going to make Joel start because he looks like he has more things he's holding inside.
Okay. If you insist.
Yeah, but feel free to interrupt him when you
yeah.
feel like saying anything. Yeah, let's start with Deadpool, which was the first comic book movie that came out.
That we actually saw together.
You saw together?
Oh yeah, we did.
Yeah.
That's the first time we met, like in person as Deadpool.
Wait, coincidentally or?
Yeah, like coincidentally. Yeah. It's like, oh,
I don't
you-
even see him on Facebook.
Yeah,
We
same.
met coincidentally too.
Yeah.
That's very weird.
Yeah.
But let's.
It was a bit coincident.
But this was like the first time we met.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Facebook with
Okay.
each other for a while.
Super cute. So let's get to it. I'm sure you discussed it, but Joel, go on and tell us what you thought about the film.
Okay, yeah. So Deadpool, we'll start off, I think, with a little backstory. The first cinematic appearance of Deadpool was in X-Men Origins of Wolverine.
Yep.
and it was atrocious. Like sewed up his mouth and gave him like Cyclops powers or some weird shit, and he's fighting
beaming
this
through his
nuclear.
eyes.
Yeah, it was horrible. Ryan Reynolds was heartbroken, and he fought for close to 7 years to get a film going. So he finally leaked that test footage, and we had a Deadpool movie. And in my opinion, it's the most faithful adaptation of any comic book.
You've read the Deadpool comics, eh?
Oh yeah, I've read plenty of them. I caught wind of him when I was getting started in comics. I read a couple of the Civil War comics, some World War Hulk, those big event ones. And I ran across this weird Mark with a mouth, these fourth wall jokes and commentary on the superhero formula. I fell in love with him. I have a bunch of his comics at home, so I was curious to see how he would translate into like a film on screen. And he translated pretty well. From the get-go, they were like taking jabs at the superhero formula. I love
the opening credits were super cool.
Yeah, the opening credits were super cool. Ryan Reynolds was born to play Deadpool. Yeah, the Deadpool character has also referenced that if anyone was to play him in a movie, it would be Ryan Reynolds, because he thinks Ryan Reynolds is a handsome.
In the comics?
Yeah, in the comics. He says it's like a cross between.
Is this before Wolverine or?
Yeah, it's before that. He says Ryan Reynolds is like a cross between Paris Hilton and a Sharpay, I think, is what he says. And he says that's his best pick for the character.
To play him, eh?
Yeah, and it was fantastic that Reynolds is just as into the character, and you could tell how much love there was for like the movie as a whole.
Nice.
Yeah, because like the jokes, the violence, it's so good to see R-rated violence in a comic book movie. I think not since like Blade we had like a straight up brutal comic book movie with blood everywhere, which the Wolverine movies should have been, but
aren't they PG-13?
yeah, they're stuck in PG-13 land,
except for Logan.
Yeah, they're promising blood in Logan.
But you told me to not have hype for Logan.
No, I'm just saying.
Yeah, but they had like the Red Band trailer had this one adorable scene where he sticks his claws in some guy's skull. It's still into too tame. Like I want him to dismember people.
Plus, it's the same director, James Mangold.
Exactly. But yeah, I got some. I don't know if you've played The Last of Us before.
No, I haven't, but I know it.
Yeah. But it has like the whole dude and a little girl traveling across the post-apocalypse. It had vibes of that. Yeah, so if it's anything,
that's the role of the little girl. In Logan.
Well, Legend is
It's 23.
Yeah.
Clone. Very clone.
Yeah.
Super
so that should be a great. It looks promising. It would be very hard for them to fuck it up, but I'm sure Fox will find a way. So besides that, I didn't have too many issues, except it was criticizing the formula, but then still use the formula.
The exact same.
Like the ending, I liked that tiny twist where the Indian guy has the guns in the taxi cab. That taxi cab driver was the best character in the movie, by the way. I liked his whole story arc, how it escalated and he kidnapped the love of his life. Yeah, that was really cool.
That was cool.
And Colossus.
Yeah, I loved Colossus.
Yeah.
I feel he was like a breakout character.
Exactly. And Negasonic Teenage
Warhead.
Warhead.
Those two.
Yeah, which was the best thing I can say about this movie as well is it felt like, issue 123. Those middle issues in like a character's story. It just seemed like this average story of Deadpool teamed up with Colossus and
with flashbacks.
And they went to save his girl from Ajax. It was just like casual. There was nothing like, the world is ending, we're shooting beams into the sky and all that shit. I liked seeing a simple story.
Did you like Ajax?
Ajax as like the butt of many jokes, he was okay. Like he said that was his purpose. Otherwise, it was the Deadpool show. I think the rest of the pieces weren't supposed to be all that compelling or have any depth. Because even his romantic.
That's a problem if they're not.
I know it's a problem. Ordinarily, I think it would be, but it's not quite. Because I feel like Deadpool is almost, he was sort of stepping outside. It was like he was referencing his own movie as it was happening. So yeah, I don't think it bothered me as much, because I came to see him crack wise and cut a bunch of people up, and that's what I got. So having a romantic interest in a villain was like a by the way. That's a weak part, but it didn't bother me as much.
Wow, okay. Charlie, your thoughts?
Deadpool, didn't like it as much.
Good. We get something else.
Fantastic.
I didn't like the fact that all the characters were like quipping.
Thank you.
Was Colossus quipping though?
Quips were
Colossus.
many.
Really? No, Colossus was like playing it straight.
He was
He was
playing
like
it straight.
saying what his character would say.
No, but like the love interest.
No, but they had that awesome scene where she pegged him from behind, man.
Yeah, there's that. Okay.
The Women's Day part of it.
Yeah.
That was funny.
That's when she walked me over.
Okay, what was your beef with the love interest though?
She was too convenient, like the perfect love interest.
What do you want out of a love interest?
Was she perfect though?
What
She was
love
perfect for
interest
him.
works for
Okay.
you? But which is not a bad thing. Which works, which was ideal. Yeah.
No, well,
Which works.
Well, I would only have a problem with her like becoming bait at the end for him to say. But I think before
But
that
she was bait.
Yeah, I'm saying that's the only problem I think I would have with her.
The whole
But
damsel in distress.
Yeah. But before that, she seemed like a pretty strong character. Like she could hit back if he hit. It's like I found that interesting at first before she became bait, and then he wasn't revealing himself to her for some reason. I had issues.
Oh God, I had an issue with that stuff.
Because she was not shallow at all.
There's
like, from
no
what we had
way
seen.
they could show that she would have not been kawa with seeing him that way. That I didn't buy that.
So that was
He just felt.
No, the only reason why that was there was because movie. Because the movie has to happen.
It was convenient.
I would say that was the most forced thing in there.
But Charlie, your issues are not coming out clear.
Well, I didn't like Deadpool that much. I don't know I like Colossus more than Deadpool.
Do you like Deadpool in the comics?
Like used to, I think about grown his whole toilet humor. But
Do you know his humor is childish?
Yes,
Yeah.
and that's
Very
why
childish.
I love him
the
for that.
dick jokes, man.
Yeah,
they get
it's
old.
like-
but that's my own personal shit. He
Exactly.
was faithful too.
Yeah, it was
Like,
exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, okay movie.
It was also
Yeah.
because I think some people also had issues with the jokes being too much.
Some of them
Yeah.
felt
At a certain
flat.
point,
Some of
yeah.
There
them
were
felt
about
flat.
200 jokes and
Yeah.
like 150 landed.
And they were like, yeah, and they all almost Family Guy style, where it's like pop culture
Yeah.
reference, pop culture reference, pop culture
After
reference.
the other, and those pop culture references
I'm going to
get
do
old.
what
eh?
Limp
Yeah.
Bizkit almost did to music in the 90s.
Yeah.
That stuff is funny. That stuff was funny.
I had maybe 3 or 4 I would zone out of at a time, but for the most part I enjoyed
Yeah,
it.
it was.
I was just happy to see Deadpool on screen doing things.
I'd have liked it to be darker and like higher
But
stakes.
his comics are generally not as dark, because I think his shtick is like dark shit is happening around him, but he doesn't give a fuck because he knows he's in a comic book.
Yeah.
And he doesn't take anything as seriously, and he has that romantic relationship with death.
Like Thanos.
So he can't die. I wish he was in the MCU.
Yeah.
That would have been funny as hell. Once Death came in as a character. Which I wonder if they'll bring her in and follow the same whole
think
thing
they
with
will.
Thanos.
Like in Deadpool too.
No, yeah, because like in Infinity War, Thanos does all this stuff because he's trying to impress Death.
Yes, you told me.
Entity.
Yeah. But like Death is like, she has a
Yeah,
hots for
she's-
Deadpool for some reason.
For real, she likes Deadpool.
She is so in love with Deadpool. It is insane. And that's
You
why he
should
can't
bring
die.
that up.
Yeah, it would be funny.
But different
Yes, different.
companies.
Yeah. But
Oh,
there's,
Fox and Marvel.
there's some hope though. Apparently they are rebooting. So if Fox, I know Fox and Marvel have a lot of beef. But if they could patch, because I know they're rebooting the X-Men now. But they're trying to put now an X-Men universe in Deadpool's world, so it's a Deadpool.
They're rebooting the X-Men.
Yeah,
After-
and making a Deadpool universe.
After this last one.
Yeah, which we'll get to. I have a lot to say on that. But
Sack balls, right? Brand
Yeah.
dropped the ball, eh?
big ones.
Oh,
Yeah.
Big
good,
ones.
good. Anyway,
Yeah.
so for me, an outsider, with you guys being the comic book nerds, going in not knowing much about the character, it was okay. I like that they weren't high stakes. You said you liked the high stakes. I was happy that they weren't that big high stakes because I get bored of the whole "the world is ending" storyline, which
No,
is
not
in-
high stakes, but darker. I wanted it.
Oh,
darker.
you wanted it darker. Oh, okay. I guess the funny worked. I liked that the stakes weren't so high for him. Like they weren't blowing up buildings all over the place.
That's how
That
high
thing
could the
gets
stakes be? You
old.
can't die.
The whole story practically takes place on a bridge.
Yeah.
Like most of it is on that
Which,
bridge.
yeah, like the
with
first
flashbacks.
20 minutes. They really
Yeah.
went with the whole simple thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they were under budget and it worked. It worked. They made this movie for like what, 48 million and they made like 700 million, which is ridiculous. Crazy
Yeah,
profit of that. Yeah. I think they did well. I'm looking forward to Deadpool.
But it
2.
was
But
good.
I had-
I
it
thought it
was.
did good,
I had the
just
director
not
worked.
great.
Yeah,
No,
not great.
yeah, it wasn't
Yeah,
great.
it was good.
It was faithful. It got a plus for me for being faithful. But
you
if
wouldn't
now-
hail it as great.
No, the greatest thing ever. No.
Yeah.
And the director worked. I had.
Oh yeah, you walked away
you're
from
seeing those
the
differences.
second- Yeah, that's a bit scary now. But Ryan Reynolds is still on board some 50%. Not
But it looks
scared.
like he's the one causing the problems.
Yeah, man of strong opinions.
I'd rather see a Colossus sequel. Colossus and
Like a Colossus movie.
Negasonic on their adventures. I swear.
Okay, so there's those
Yeah.
two actually, this unlikely pair. Never considered them. And I've actually never seen Negasonic in any comic book.
Grant Morrison created a new X-Men.
New X-Men, I haven't read the new X-Men.
Grant Morrison's run.
That's like
You
a
should.
super
That is-
obscure character and her name is ridiculous, man. I loved it.
Have you read Joss Whedon's Astonishing X-Men?
No. I don't think I
She
have.
also appears. But she's more goth
Yeah.
in the comic.
That's what she's supposed to be. Isn't it?
What was the name Ajax? What was Ajax's real name? I forgot
Francis.
it. Oh yeah.
Francis.
I found that shit funny.
They
That
made
was
fun
funny
of him
picture.
over and over. Okay, let's move on to the next movie. Batman v Superman.
Whoa.
Dawn
Yeah.
of
Piece
Justice.
of shit.
Charlie can start with that.
See.
Yeah.
Do you even have to think?
Yeah. I didn't write anything down.
No, still, man, top of your head, like.
Sucked.
What sucked the most?
Superman's characterization.
Oh my god.
The plot. The whole thing. The whole. Man, well, where do I start?
From the beginning, it'd be a good place to start.
No, you should start since you have something positive to say.
You have something positive.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
there's some
You actually liked
very
it. I remember you saying something about
positive.
the whole Martha thing.
Yeah.
Deep.
Yes. I'm
What?
going to defend the Martha thing, by the way.
I hope
But let's
he'll
get to
close
that.
it.
Of course, yeah, he will.
Okay.
Okay, but Batman vs Superman. I'll start by saying, Man of Steel sucked. Yeah, that broke my heart already. So going into this, I had zero expectations. I watched the movie with my sisters. All of us were just expecting nothing. We went there just because it's a Batman vs Superman movie. You have to see it. So we sit down. Visuals were good, like the opening with Batman's origin story. That's the best I've seen it. Zack Snyder is good with a camera. I cannot fault him on that. Then the actual movie starts, and Batman is like running through like the destruction of Metropolis. That was brilliant, and yeah, I liked that. So the movie got me behind Batman. I was rooting for Batman to kick Superman's ass. The whole movie, which is different from Man of Steel, where I was rooting for nobody. Maybe Zod. Like I understood Zod.
Actually, yeah.
Yeah, Zod
he
wanted
was just doing.
Yeah, he
like,
wanted.
duty.
Yeah, he wanted to save his
Duty
race.
is to, yeah.
Yeah.
Save Kryptonite.
Then Clark
Yeah.
was such an asshole, man. He's telling his friend go hide in a 7-Eleven. Then he gets a Kryptonian and throws him into that 7-Eleven like 5 minutes later. It's just so much
He let
wanton
his dad
destruction.
get blown away there.
That was ridiculous.
That scene was
Yeah.
really awful.
And painfully
That is
cheesy,
painful.
man.
Yeah, yeah.
He definitely definitely could have saved him, right?
Yeah. There was
That
no
was
reason.
fucked
Exactly,
up.
there was no reason for him not to
10
use those
seasons of
powers.
Smallville.
His
No one
dad just
saw
wanted
that
to be a
doing.
martyr. And he went back to save a fucking dog, man. That's just that whole movie was ridiculous. But on a technical level it was better than Batman versus Superman. In terms of having a fluid vision.
Man of Steel.
Yeah, I'm saying Man of Steel was better.
Was better.
Because I think Zack Snyder had more he had more range, to run free and make what he wanted to make. We hated it, but it was his vision. I understood what he was doing. With this movie, you could tell there was some meddling here and there.
So much was cut.
Yes. Now, if we're to talk about this whole movie, it would be for hours.
I know.
But I'll personally we'll get. I'm sure Charlie will touch on how bad Lex Luthor is.
No,
I actually liked Lex.
You did?
Yeah.
Fantastic, because I loved him too. He was like Joker 2.0. It was ridiculous. I knew it was shit, but it was so funny.
I couldn't stand that.
It was funny when he put the Twizzler in that dude's mouth.
No, you guys know. I love Jesse Eisenberg. That character was unwithstandable on screen.
No, but I went in thinking I would hate him, but he was hilarious.
Yeah, I liked
and he had
How?
he had a nervous stick. I dug his character.
Books are knowledge, and knowledge is power. And I am... No. No, what am I? What was I saying? No. The bittersweet pain among men is having knowledge with no power, because that is paradoxical, and, thank you for coming.
Guys,
I dug his character.
I kind of no.
The only people that sucked in this movie were Henry Cavill and Amy Adams.
Lois Lane
was still
terrible.
Yeah, she threw in the spear, then magically knew they needed the spear, then went back to get the spear,
But that's not on her. That's
then drowned.
That's on whoever wrote it.
Yeah,
yes,
but
which
that
is,
makes
yeah,
her
which
character
is, yeah,
total shit.
which is actually
too.
what I wanted to say. For me, the big problem with these movies comes down to the writing. David Ayer is a shit writer. Which I was behind him because he started with Blade, the first Blade movie.
You mean
David?
No,
Goya.
Sorry, David Ayer, awesome. David A. Square is a shit writer. So yeah, he started with Blade, which I thought was a good movie. I liked
Which
it.
is a good
yeah,
movie.
sorry, it's a
Blade,
good movie
yeah.
for all intents and purposes. But I thought it was good because he contributed to that, is what I'm saying.
And he wrote Batman Begins. And
No. But listen, because I recently discovered, in the Blade commentaries, this dude doesn't write a normal writer does. He admits he's not good with dialogue and constructing scenes.
So what does
which you're like, what does
Yeah,
he do?
so what
That's
does
the
he
whole
do?
process.
That's the entire
Because he
thing.
said what he's good at is laying out the foundation, the structure.
The fuck? Then you should
Exactly. So a lot of the time, these actors are on set improvising entire lines. So why Henry Cavill looks awkward and he's not sure how to feel, he's improvising shit. They're like, this is a situation you're in, this is what's happening, go. And he's like, it's like, what the fuck? Because I think if Snyder had a stronger writer, he would be better.
Yeah.
Because because I loved Watchmen.
I love Watchmen
Yeah.
also.
Watchmen is dope.
Yeah, which some people
Which
hate.
a lot of people hate.
Yeah, which
but
I don't
the
understand.
way it's directed,
No, Watchmen
that
is dope.
narrative is unconventional. and
Yeah.
It's not like that.
But the visuals were gorgeous, man. Everything. That's actually what hooked me on Snyder, not 300. 300 was a better movie, but yeah. So I think with a better writer, he could be a bit better. But still, Snyder also isn't the right person to be directing these movies.
Superman.
Yeah,
also.
he should direct Batman or Lobo. Give him a Lobo movie. I think he'd be happy.
He should direct thrillers shit
He should
Panic
just
Room,
be a
not
cinematic
superhero.
Yeah, the name of his company, Cruel and Unusual Films. That's the exact studio I would pick to direct a Superman movie myself. It's just ridiculous. But I like that he doesn't pretend to be anything other than what he is.
He stays put. He doesn't over-apologize.
Yeah, and the problem is his outlook, his philosophy on life. Where, if you notice, like in Man of Steel, Superman doesn't exactly like stand up and say, no, it's my duty to like fight evil and have responsibility with his powers. Everyone is just kind of, hey, just do whatever the fuck you want. Just, it doesn't matter. Help them, don't help them, doesn't matter. Like, that's his outlook on life. That's not Superman's outlook on life. So if he gave Superman what the actual Superman like believes in, where like he has to stand up for truth, justice, the American way, all that cheesy shit, he'd have been a perfect counterbalance to the darker Batman once they faced off. Yeah, because they would have this diverging, this contrasting philosophies.
But in Zack Snyder's thing, it's all
they're all the same.
They're all the same.
Yeah. Did you notice any difference between Metropolis and Gotham?
Not a single bit. You could hardly tell you when even in the beginning. You start with Gotham, right?
Yeah. No. Actually, there was a difference. By the way.
Is it Man of Steel's place where the people are like, reaching out for him?
Yeah. They're like on separate islands.
He makes it darker.
Yeah.
Kind of.
No.
He makes it darker.
No, the only difference between Gotham and Metropolis is that Gotham had lightning in that one scene. That's how you know it's Gotham, when Lex points to it. That's the only difference between them. Otherwise, they look exactly the same.
How will you come up with that Martha scene?
Oh, like should we talk about the Martha scene yet, or do you want to touch on some stuff before we go to that? Because I feel like we should end with that. Do you have any stuff you'd want to say?
Everyone knows the movie suck.
No, one other thing, guys, the editing was shit. There were like 7 storylines and they were jumping from scene to scene. Because, you could hardly keep track.
Yeah, because shit was chopped out. It was like a 4-hour film, from what I've heard. So they cut out all these scenes so they could hit that 2-hour, 30 minutes mark off. So you wind up in this place where you're not sure why characters are doing what they do.
Did you watch the director's cut? Have you watched it yet?
I haven't yet seen the director's cut.
Have you watched the director's cut yet?
I just read and watched the scenes. Does it improve anything?
Not really. There are a few scenes where Clark is in Metropolis and some homeless people tell him that Bat is angrier than he's ever been and the Bat is out for blood.
So does it flesh out his...
It fleshed out some Martha?
No.
I really hung up on this Martha.
Man, that Martha thing killed me. I wasn't sure.
It made sense.
Your mother's name is Martha?
Maybe in theory, but
no.
They didn't. Yeah. Not in how it was executed. Okay. It just came off.
It's true. Martha. And that's the only way we judge it. Martha.
Before we get into the Martha scene.
And okay, they tried to connect it to the beginning. Like when Bruce's dad was shot, he said something about Martha. Eh?
That's really stretching it.
They tried to. Doesn't he? He says.
He says something about Martha or whatever. Okay.
So you're supposed to make that connection, but
okay. Before I explain why the Martha scene worked,
doesn't work.
One other problem I had with the movie before that was the courtroom scene. In the trailers, they hype it up as this moment where Superman's going to finally answer for Metropolis. So for me, when I saw the trailer, I was like, okay, this is the moment we're finally going to get into Clark's head and understand his motivation, what he was thinking in that moment. And then they just blow everyone up and make some stupid grandma's peach tea joke, and that's the end of that. And Clark still has no character.
He had absolutely no character.
Yeah, and how come he can always find Lana wherever she is, and he can never find... He couldn't find Martha for some reason.
Yeah, his mom, who he grew up with.
Jesus Christ. And how did Lex magically know all this information? He knew everybody's secret identity.
He's a genius.
Guys,
that's bullshit. And he designed all the logos.
Wasn't Wonder Woman cool though?
Yes. I'll give it a yes.
You look more doubtful about it.
She had a cool theme song.
Her theme song is cool. Yeah, listen to it over and over and over.
Gal Gadot as an actress, I wasn't expecting as much as I got. Like I said, I came in 0%. Yeah, so I was like, okay.
Why so doubtful?
I was like, okay, she delivered.
She delivered.
Yeah, so I'm just waiting for the Wonder Woman movie.
That being said, not a Wonder Woman fan.
Why?
I don't get her character.
What do you mean you don't get her character? She's a feminazi. That like
feminazi.
No, she is.
She's just
she
a
is.
feminist.
No. The Amazonians are. Have you watched
They
Wonder
are.
Woman?
I've watched the Wonder
yeah,
Woman.
Wonder Woman
thing.
changes afterwards.
But it's because
afterwards she does, right? Because she's the only one that goes away from that island and says, "Went to fight for the world of men."
Okay, could you agree with me on one thing? You see how people are against her sexuality thing, but doesn't it make sense for you why she's like that? Because she's grown up with only women, so you're not in this world of objectifying women.
You should read up. You should read up on how Wonder Woman was created. Who created her? She was created as a bondage character by some psychiatrist.
Oh no, yeah, they had a lot of.
Don't ruin it for me, Charlie.
Those
That's what she
visuals,
was.
because you know the only way you can incapacitate her is by tying her hands behind her back. Then it turns into some messed up bondage shit.
Fuck.
Like there's so many covers if you just Google. There's so many covers of how bound up
for you.
Yeah, but right now they don't do it as
Okay,
they don't do it
Wonder
anymore.
Woman of now is not that one.
Yeah, but when she came out, like female comic book readers really loved her. Like girls really gravitated towards
The
her.
better one. We need some hope.
Yeah. Oh yeah, she's going to be the first female character with a comic book movie. Not forgetting Elektra. Everyone's forgotten Elektra. The movie that's what
It's like the way you forget the first Daredevil. Okay. Let's move to the next thing.
No, wait, let's talk about the Maaaaaartha scene. Just real quick.
What?
The Maaaaaartha scene actually did make sense. Because when he's about... Okay, the way it was executed, I'll admit, was kind of stupid. I chuckled a bit. When he said, why did you say that name? That was funny. But for me, it was like... The way I saw Batman, the whole movie, is he saw Superman as this giant alien threat that he needed to take out like at all costs. He did not see him as a human being. So when he looks down on this helpless guy and he's like saying, you need to save my mother, for me he's looking down at like a version of himself as a kid, just a child that wants his mother. So for me it's him seeing the humanity finally in Superman and agreeing to help him. But I'll admit, the turnover is too quick.
Very.
But for me, I felt it. I was like, okay, I get it. But the only stupid thing for me is Superman dying.
And him not
He always dies.
No, but they could have done this epic thing if they did like a Man of Steel
Zack
trilogy.
Snyder.
I know, but they could have done this epic trilogy where Superman dies in the third movie.
No, he should die in the second one.
No, third, it should come after the Justice League, because in the Doomsday comic, Doomsday whoops the entire Justice League.
I think he should die in the second one, come back in the third one with long hair, which is what's happening.
But now he's dying after his first
movie. Back with long
he comes back with all these Supermen, and they're not even making the black suit.
They're doing the black suit. Haven't you seen the pics?
No, people just
That's
Photoshop
exciting.
that stuff. He's coming back in the blue suit, just regular Superman. But you'll have been repurposed to be the Superman people want.
What?
Yeah, I think that's why they killed him off, was to make him lighter and brighter all of a sudden. The chain man resurrected.
Watchmen was good. I like how we did Night Owl. If you had done Clark like Night Owl, kind of softy.
Much better.
Much
much better. Okay, guys, we've talked about this for too long. Moving on to Captain America: Civil War.
Oh wow,
so that's gonna be a shift of opinions, right? So, Joel, you are guy here.
Oh wow. No pressure.
You're the one starting.
Okay. So Captain America: Civil War, aka Avengers 2.5, which was the Avengers 2 I'd have rather watched.
Iron Man 4.
Yes, Iron Man 4. Yes. That's actually the biggest criticism is Tony Stark has more of a story.
But guys, it still felt like Captain America's movie.
No, I get what you're saying.
More than Man of Steel.
Yes, it does. Yeah, it does. It does.
I can't criticize it because I didn't like Winter Soldier as much as other people. I felt Winter Soldier felt like nothing happened the whole movie.
No, a lot happened.
I hated the villain, and then they trying to convince you Nick Fury is dead.
But it had all these big themes and shit.
It's
So I'm
alarming
happy
how
with
different
Civil War
experiences.
with all the characters. And
Okay, I'll say this about Winter Soldier. I'd mark it on a technical level. I'd give it like a 9 out of 10.
yeah, on a technical
But like,
level, but
on a personal level, I was
it's just like
unmoved.
It's like
I'll admit.
It's like a basic action movie.
Yeah, no,
they turned
yeah.
Captain America
No.
into that guy from Die Hard,
Yeah.
John McClane.
You guys.
No, for me, I mean,
Yeah, though I agree.
Yeah.
I did enjoy seeing that elevator scene brought to life. Like on the screen, yeah. And Winter Soldier wasn't bad. It was cool when he got the shield.
Cool.
But
the movie was
Okay.
okay, now
I hope your opinion of Civil War is more inclined
Yes.
to what I think.
They
yes.
stepped it up.
Yeah. Now when it comes to Civil War, I actually enjoyed Winter Soldier's
Let's get it going.
because now they start with like this awesome
Flashback.
scene. Yeah, like this flashback of Winter Soldier getting like switched on, and he goes and murders these people in a car that you don't see.
That was cool.
And the way they bring it back at the end is fucking beautiful. Because the whole time you're like, oh shit, like it ramps up as you realize.
You even forget.
You forget it completely.
So
when it comes back, you're like, why the fuck is this guy showing them this? You're like, oh shit, oh shit. Beautifully done. Now, the movie is near perfect in any way.
Yeah,
I really don't know how to criticize
you
it because the way it starts off, like I think they're fighting in Ghana.
Yeah,
And then Nigeria, then they like blow up some building. The UN starts. Black Panther gets an origin story. Spider-Man gets
some
his
point.
Yeah, Spider-Man was the whole.
Yeah.
That was it for me, man. That's the
Black
best Spider-Man
Panther?
I've seen on screen.
See?
Only a couple of minutes.
For you too.
Yeah, that was like
that's the best
legit.
Spider-Man.
That was legit.
Both
Peter Parker.
Both
Yeah.
Peter Parker and Spider-Man.
Legit.
They killed it.
Yeah, I believed it.
It's beautiful watching you like this. I
And
was
some
Batman
young
be
kid,
Superman.
And the movie itself, like the cinematography,
Everything was on point. The Russo brothers,
everything. It's
wonderful. It's amazing that they handled that many characters.
That was amazing. There were so many
Perfectly.
plot lines, but they handled it perfectly.
And everyone sort of had
Just
like,
came
even
together.
Hawkeye just
Even
shows up
Hawkeye.
out of nowhere.
And it makes sense.
Scarlet Witch had epic lines.
Yeah. Even Scarlet Witch had
It's a good thing that
story.
most of these characters had their own stories. Like Ant-Man, he had his own thing. So by the time he comes, everyone knows who he
That's
is.
that's the
So
only character though.
they actually get that advice. That's the only
That's the only character like I had an issue with slightly. That's if we're nitpicking though. That's
really
compared to the rest of the characters.
Iron Man
It's
had
not
his
as
own
clear
thing,
why
his own
he
thing.
is
He was-
involving
he
himself.
was like that S in a hole.
But they,
No, but it doesn't
they
still
did
make
a
sense why he's-
cliffhanger for him in his movie.
No,
No,
I think they did a cliffhanger, but it
Let
doesn't
him
make
walk
sense
himself.
for his character. Because in the Ant-Man movie, he's trying not to fuck shit up because, like, he has a daughter to think about. He doesn't want to go back to jail.
Yeah.
So the fact that he's just siding with Rebel Captain America doesn't make
They're
as
the
much sense why he's
Avengers.
throwing everything away. Because the only thing they give us is, he has nice arms. Like, that's all he does, and then he's on board.
You're thinking too.
No, that again, nitpicking. But I love Giant Man.
Yep, that was unexpected.
And Vision also
And
had like
Vision.
a great story and had this cute thing with Scarlet Witch.
Yeah.
Like
They
they
are
started
building that
developing
thing,
that
yeah.
already.
Did you like the bromance between the Winter Soldier and what's the other guy, the black guy,
Yeah,
Falcon?
Falcon. That was beautiful. That scene in the car. That
Yeah.
was fantastic.
That's some cool
Can you
chemistry.
move your seat? No.
It was cool, but it felt like a Captain America movie.
It
You
was
know
a
the way
Captain-
they made his girlfriend's death come in between.
Yeah, like I
It
completely
makes sense.
like in terms of like when the split happens, I completely understand why Captain America does what he does. Why Tony
Wait,
Stark
I
does
know
whose
what he
side are you
does.
on, by the way?
Both.
You have to pick one.
Jesus Christ.
Do or die.
Jesus H. Christ.
As you
I would
have
say
Captain America.
yeah.
He's right overall.
In the comics, I slightly lean towards Tony Stark. Because in the comics, the tragedy that happens is that these heroes are fighting this mutant named Nitro who has the power to explode. They punch him a bunch of time and he explodes near like a children's playground and 300 kids die. So when that shit happens, like, yeah, I do feel bad for like the other heroes who don't want to reveal their identity. I completely understand why it's a bad thing. But like when Tony Stark decides, say, let's just register, we need to get in control, we need to be held accountable, I sided more with him. But in this movie, I was more with Captain America.
Because in this
I
movie,
actually had
it's
some
just
issues
Tony
with
Stark's
Iron
guilt.
Man's side.
Yes, exactly.
Great.
Which is beautiful, which makes sense.
Yeah, which makes sense.
Yeah. But I don't know how Thunderbolt could like stand on a soapbox and start talking down to them after he unleashed Abomination. You remember Incredible Hulk?
Yeah.
He unleashed Abomination on New York and like fucked up a bunch
That's
of
generous for you.
But you guys, on Iron Man's side,
yeah,
the whole loss of a loved one got old for me when it happened the third time.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's a story we're seeing from the beginning, middle, and end.
When did you
Wait, so you're saying
it was Tony Stark who convinced him the first time to change to. It was that black lady, right?
Which black lady?
Like a black lady who came to him in the corridor.
Who had lost her son in
Oh yeah.
But that's how it
son in
happens in a comic
Sokovia.
also.
Yes.
At church.
Then we have Black Panther come and say,
Oh,
I've
yes,
lost a loved one.
Yeah, Spider-Man has
Then we
lost
have Zemo
someone.
come up and say, I've lost a loved one. By the time it happened the third time,
Yeah.
I was like, fuck,
You know-
everyone has lost a loved
You know
one.
why that is?
I got
Because it was like two people writing all those stories.
I know, but that whole thing was
In the
tired for me
comics.
by the end.
Yeah.
You know, I loved Zemo, but
Yeah,
you know,
like
I like what you were
interesting take on
saying. The
Zemo.
whole he came back, and that was his motivation to make those guys see. But then when he says his motivation is actually that he lost a loved one, I'm like, another one.
No, but it's still but it's
that
still
they played that card
but
three times,
but
you guys.
why it worked is it still played into this whole larger theme of collateral damage.
Yeah, collateral damage.
Because all these movies
was
we've
like-
been seeing these people
Yeah.
kick ass and
He wanted,
there's
he wanted,
no accountability.
He wanted them to be held accountable.
Yeah, but it was
That-
like dark. Like when he tells that story of
It's almost
his
like- it's
kids
almost like-
going into the city.
It's almost like he's serving a higher purpose.
Exactly.
He's doing
So
God's
for me
work.
that's sort of
But that's
amplified
what
everything.
everyone else was doing. That's what Iron Man was doing. That's what Black Panther was doing. That's what Zemo was doing.
No,
My argument
no,
is
but
they
that was
played that
revenge,
card
yes.
too much in the movie. They played it too hard, man. They played that card thrice. That's too many
no,
times.
it's different. It's different.
different.
Thing.
Zemo's thing was like he was doing God's work. He was like this guy.
And
has to-
he's actually the only successful villain.
yeah,
Like,
he has to bring. He's like that Joker.
Yeah, like
Marvel
the way he
equivalent
broke
to
them
that.
up from the
Yeah.
inside, that was beautiful.
It was.
Yeah.
It was.
But I don't think he was. I don't
Yeah,
think
it
he was
was.
weak as a
Me, I will
Black
feel that
Black
stuff.
Panther
Even
throughout
the
the
second
movie
time I
was
watched
revenge.
it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Black Panther
Yeah.
was the avatar of revenge. But yeah, Zemo also did want revenge. But yeah,
Yeah, but
he was like propped up by
Yeah,
all
yeah,
that
yeah.
other stuff in the movie.
His plan was also too far-fetched for it to work.
Was it far-fetched?
it's a movie.
Wait. Okay, how was it far-fetched?
Everything had to fall in place for it to continue. Like somehow everyone had to be in place. But yeah, like he says, it's a movie. So although, but
Plus he had
That's
probably
my
studied
unit.
them and how they work.
Yeah, I
And he
sort
knew
of
he does this.
I sort of got that
that's
feeling.
you making an excuse for
And
the
I feel
movie.
like
Are
he
you hearing
improvised
yourself?
also a bit
Yeah.
in a way.
Anyway,
But yeah, again, yeah, it was a near perfect movie.
Yeah, it was a near
Like-
perfect
like-
movie.
really good.
Like
Now you're like picking at what makes it work. Then
Oh yeah, that's the thing actually.
Edge of Ultron, on the other hand, has like
Oh, that was a
Getting
joy. That's a joyless
with
movie.
really lacking.
like why did Ultron just kill them?
This is it. I'm Sharon.
I'm Joel.
Charlie.
This has been the first of our 2016 comic book movies 2-part episode. Don't miss the second part next week on Wednesday.